Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn how to solve algebraic fractions. We've got 3 success criteria, and the first one is to be able to manipulate algebraic fractions. So to be able to solve equations with algebraic fractions, you need to be confident with manipulating algebraic fractions and simplifying algebraic fractions. So if you're not very confident with those two things, have a look at our videos on manipulating algebraic fractions and simplifying algebraic fractions. So we want to express x plus 5 over 2x plus 4 times 2x plus 6 over 3 as a single fraction in its simplest form. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply the denominators and we multiply the numerators. So to multiply the two brackets on top, we use a grid method. X times 2x is 2x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x. 6 times x is 6x. And 6 times 5 is 30. Then I need to add all of those terms together to simplify it, which is 2x squared plus 16x plus 30. And then I need to times the bottom, so that's 2x plus 4 times 3, which makes 6x plus 12. I can simplify it further by dividing all the numbers by 2. So our final answer is x squared plus 8x plus 15 over 3x plus 6. Here's another example. This time I want to divide two algebraic fractions. So when we divide, we need to use keep, flip, change. So we keep the first fraction as it is. We flip the second fraction and change the divide to a times. Now we times these two fractions together. So to be able to multiply the top two brackets, I use a grid method. X times 2x is 2x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. Minus 5 times x is minus 5x. And minus 5 times 3 is minus 15. Now I add these terms together to be able to simplify it. So that's 2x squared plus x minus 15. And the bottom, 4 times x plus 1, is 4x plus 4. So there's my answer. To be able to subtract algebraic fractions, I need to make the denominators the same. So I times this fraction by x minus 5 and this fraction by x plus 1. That makes both denominators x plus 1 times x minus 5. So I expand the numerators and then I subtract them. I've just got to be careful because I'm subtracting the numerators that I subtract 2x and I subtract 2 as well. Then I can simplify the top to 3x squared minus 17x minus 2. And on the bottom, I'll have x plus 1 times x minus 5. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers. There's your amber answers. And there's your red answers. And now we've completed success criteria 1. So now we're going to move on to number 2. And this is to solve equations involving algebraic fractions with numerical denominators. So I want to solve x over 4 plus x over 5 equals 18. So I start by adding the fractions together first. For that, I need the denominators to be the same. So I've times this fraction by 5 to get 20 on the bottom. So I need to times the top by 5 as well. So that's 5x. For this fraction, I've times the bottom of the fraction by 4 to get 20. So I need to times the top of the fraction by 4 as well. So x times 4 is 4x. Now I can add them together. So that's 9x over 20. And now I've got an equation that I can solve. So I get rid of the divide by 20 by timesing both sides by 20. So 9x equals 360. And then I can divide both sides by 9. So x equals 40. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So for this question, again, I need to make the denominators the same, so I can make them both 6. I times this fraction by 2 to make 6 on the bottom, so I need to times the top by 2 as well. So that will be 2x. The bottom of this fraction hasn't changed, so I don't need to change it. Now I add them together, so that's 5x over 6 equals 5. And I've got an equation that I can solve. So I get rid of the divide by 6 by timesing both sides by 6, which makes 5x equals 30. And then I divide both sides by 5. So x equals 6. Here's another example. So again, I need to make sure I make the denominators all the same. So I need to times this fraction by 4 and this fraction by 3 to make the denominators 12 on both. So I need to make sure I multiply all of the numerator by 4. And on this fraction, times all of the numerator by 3. Then I need to subtract them. So I need to do 12x minus 3x, which is 9x. And I need to do 8 take away 9, which is minus 1. Now it's an equation that I can solve. So I need to times both sides by 12 to get rid of the divide by 12. So 9x minus 1 equals 120. I can then add 1 to both sides. So 9x equals 121. And then I divide both sides by 9. So x is 121 over 9. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers. There's your amber answers. And there's your red answers. And now we've completed success criteria 2. So now we're going to move on to number 3. And this is to solve equations involving algebraic fractions with algebraic denominators. So to be able to understand these examples, you need to be confident with solving quadratic equations by factorising. So if you're not confident with that, have a look at our video on factorising and solving quadratics. So I want to solve this equation. Because I'm adding both fractions together, I need to make the denominators the same. So I times this fraction by 4x minus 7, and I times this fraction by 2x plus 9, which gives me this. I can expand the numerators and then add them together. I can then times both sides by the denominator, which gives me this. I can then expand that double bracket and then I need to make it equal 0 on one side. So I can take 30x off both sides and I can add 15 to both sides, which means this side will be 0. And this side will be 8x squared minus 8x minus 48. I can then divide everything and factorise the brackets. So x equals minus 2 or x equals 3. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to see what you should have done, press play. So I want to solve this equation. So I need to make the denominators the same. So I times this fraction by 3x minus 8 and this fraction by 3x minus 2, which gives me this. I expand the brackets on the numerators and then I subtract them. But I need to be careful because I need to do 6x take away 15x, which is minus 9x, and minus 16 take away minus 10. When I take away minus 10, that makes positive 10. So it becomes minus 16 plus 10, which is minus 6. I can then times both sides by the denominator. Gives me this. I can then expand the brackets and times everything by 3. And then I need to get it to equal 0. So I need to add 9x to both sides and add 6 to both sides as well. So this side will be 0, and this side will be 27x squared minus 81x plus 54. I can then factorise with 27 on the outside and factorise into brackets. So that means x equals 1 or x equals 2. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. Pause the video, and when you're ready to mark your work, press play. Here are your answers. So there's your green answers. There's your amber answers. And there's your red answers. The greens made hen. The ambers made pig. And the reds made goat. And now we've completed success criteria 3. So now that we've completed the last objective, it's time to end the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the videos on the rest of the channel. I'll see you next time. See ya.